Igor slammed the car door shut in the driveway, his pulse quickening as he spotted the black sedan parked there. Tinted windows. Not too new, but impeccably clean. He hadn't planned this early return, but the meeting got postponed. Contractors flaked, and he couldn't stand another night in that sterile hotel room surrounded by strangers and echoing silence. 5 hours on the road, no radio, no calls, just his thoughts swirling in chaotic loops about work deadlines and that nagging unease about home. He memorized the sedan's license plate instantly, his mind already racing through possibilities. A neighbor, a delivery, or something worse. He unlocked the front door quietly, stepping into the foyer where only his boots and Larissa's high heels sat neatly aligned. No coats hanging, so she was home. "Larissa," he called out softly, his voice steady but his gut twisting with an unspoken question. "In the kitchen," she replied evenly, no surprise in her tone, which only heightened his suspicion. Why wasn't she startled? He moved deeper into the house, the smell of fish and garlic hitting him as he entered the kitchen. There she stood by the stove in a dark dress, hair pulled back tightly, fresh manicure gleaming under the lights. A faint mark on her shoulder from a bag strap suggested she'd just gotten back. "Darling," she said without turning fully, chopping vegetables with mechanical precision. "The meeting was canceled," Igor explained, watching her every move. "I decided not to stay overnight." "Understood. Want something to eat?" she asked, still not facing him directly. "Later." She didn't probe further. No kiss, no hug, no questions about the drive. She just set down the knife, rinsed the greens in the sink, and pulled out a frying pan. Igor leaned against the doorframe, scrutinizing her. The pauses in her actions felt scripted, every gesture empty of real emotion. It used to calm him. Now it set his nerves on edge. Was she hiding something? "Where are the kids?" he asked, stepping back slightly. "Artem went to a friend's. Alina said she'd be late. Meeting with her curator." He nodded, left her there and headed upstairs, setting his suitcase against the wall. A quick glance into the bedroom. Bed made perfectly. Pillows aligned like soldiers. No trace of his cologne lingered. No jacket slung over the chair. No tie on the hook. No shirt on the back of the stool like usual. Everything sterilized, too clean. He splashed water on his face in the bathroom, avoiding the mirror. He didn't want to see the doubt etching into his expression. Downstairs, he sank into the armchair facing the TV, flipping on the news with the sound muted. An hour ticked by in silence. She didn't speak. Neither did he. Then she approached, placing a plate of food on the coffee table without a word. He didn't even glance at it. She lingered for 2 seconds, then retreated to her study. Not their bedroom, but the office where she'd been sleeping lately, claiming work overload. Igor switched off the TV, sitting in the dark as street sounds filtered in. The neighbor's dog barking, a car door slamming somewhere, pipes groaning in the walls. Everything normal, except the void where her presence should be. Later that night, lying in bed, he heard the study door creak open, footsteps in the hall, the bathroom door clicking shut, water running briefly, then silence. He waited 1 minute, 2, then a faint voice, hers, female, muffled. "Not now. At home." "Yes." He arrived. Pause. "No, I'll handle it myself." Her tone was low but assured. No embarrassment, no anxiety, like she had it all under control, as if he wasn't even in the bedroom. He stayed still, breathing slow, heart pounding. He wasn't sure he'd heard every word right, but the doubts evaporated. The intonation, the content, her saying, "He arrived." It screamed secrecy. The next morning, Larissa acted like nothing happened, serving breakfast in silence. Igor ate without appetite, forcing down bites while she scrolled news on her phone, then headed to the garden to check the greenhouse. When she returned, he was in his home office with his laptop open, pretending to work. "I'll be late tonight," she tossed out casually. "Got a meeting." He nodded. "Don't count on me for dinner," she added, pulling on her coat. "Fine." And that was it. No details, no call to check in, like he had no right to know, like everything was perfectly normal. He closed the laptop, stood, and went to the living room, rummaging in the dresser for an old digital recorder. He tested it, small, gray, with a record button, from his days taping business meetings. He pocketed it, then headed to the garage. In Larissa's car glove compartment, he planted a small bug he'd bought 2 weeks ago, just for a check. Now, it was necessity. Back inside, he booted up the laptop, plugged in the memory card, slipped on headphones, took a deep breath, and hit play. Her voice came through clear. "Everything's on track. He suspects nothing. No, don't interfere. I'll sort it out. Yes, same figures we discussed. Konstantin, please, no panic." He didn't stop the recording, listening to the end, then shut it off. The house was too quiet. He stood slowly, knowing exactly. This was the start. That evening, Igor drove to the office, ostensibly to review project docs, but really to escape the oppressive home silence where every keyboard click felt like a gunshot. In his office, he turned on just the desk lamp, ignoring the papers, slumping back and staring at a fixed point on the wall. He wasn't the type for outbursts or scenes. No rage boiled now, just a calculated anxiety, cold and persistent, like water eroding stone. This wasn't a flash. It was the beginning of an irreversible process. He replayed the recording once, twice, 3 times. Each play, Larissa's voice rang the same, firm, calm, confident. "He suspects nothing." The words hit like a verdict, not from fear or desperation, but superiority. She addressed him by name, Konstantin. Igor knew his brother well, charming, a listener who said the right things with the perfect gaze. People loved him at parties, invited him to conferences. Igor never felt jealous before. No reason. But now, the pieces aligned. Their late-night talks, Larissa's rare trips, Artem's boasts, Alina's sarcasm, all in a logical sequence. He opened the corporate email, scanned threads, clean, dry, no red flags. Then the accounting system. Transactions from the last 6 months. Larissa, as external relations advisor, had signing rights for certain payments. He'd set it up himself, trusting her then. Some amounts stood out. Consulting payouts to obscure firms, repeating names. Sums non-standard, slightly above market, not glaring, but off. He pulled up one company's card. Strategy Plus. Official address. An empty office on the outskirts, per the database. Minimal capital, founder some size of. Not his guy. He noted it, printed a funds movement extract. No direct signature from Larissa, just electronic approval. Dates matched her trips, especially spring. April, May, June. She'd claimed charity fund visits, then marketer meetings. No reports seen. When he'd asked, she'd brushed it off curtly, irritably. A knock at the door. "Busy?" Diana's voice, the finance director. "Come in." She entered with her tablet. 39, precise, always in business attire. He valued her for staying out of personal matters, but now he crossed that line. "Diana," he said, pointing to the monitor. "Look at this." She approached, perched on the desk edge, scanned the extract, scrolled, paused on a line. "This isn't our contractor," she said quietly. "Doesn't tie to any project." I thought the same. "Forgery?" "No. All by the book. Just odd." She went silent then. "You want me to dig?" He nodded. "Unofficially. No security involvement yet? Just a hypothesis?" "Got it. How far back?" 6 months. We'll see after." She asked nothing more, stood, said, "Ready in a couple days," and left. Alone, he killed the light. Logic churned in his head, cold and stubborn. If Larissa conspired with Constantine, it wasn't just personal. It was business, money, reputation hit, his company. They'd planned this long. He recalled a chat with the kids 2 weeks back. Artem confidently touting digital assets, investments, new schemes. Then it seemed teen bravado. Now it echoed differently. And Alina's sharp jabs. "Everything's outdated. Think modern." Heard anew. He drove home late. The sedan still sat in the drive, same plate. House dark except the study light. He tiptoed in, cracked the door. Larissa at her laptop and headphones, spreadsheets on screen. He didn't pry. Shut it quietly. In the bedroom, he lay down fully clothed, unwilling to undress. Around midnight, a knock. She entered without waiting, glass of water in hand. "Everything okay?" she asked. He looked at her evenly. "What wouldn't be?" She didn't reply, just set the glass on the nightstand. "Meeting tomorrow, back late afternoon." "Who's there?" "Rep from the vendor, discussing logistics." "Clear." She froze as if waiting for more. He said nothing. Half a minute later she left, door closing slow with a click. Silence. He turned to the wall. A plan formed. Not emotion, not revenge. Verification. Cold, legal, all formalities. No scenes. He'd ensure they grasped nothing until too late. 2 days later, he met Mark again. Unchanged. Same leather jacket, hard stare, clipped speech. In an outskirts cafe, they took a window table. No eavesdroppers, no watchers. Igor slid over a list. Firm names, transactions, dates. "Sure about this?" Mark asked. "Not yet, but the scent's strong. Internal." Mark traced a line. "Who signed?" "Indirectly Larissa, but legally clean. By procedure. Sum's weird, firm's worthless." "Brother?" "Name not in records, but surfaced in talk. She spoke to him." "I heard." "Recording?" "Yes." Mark stayed unfazed. "Play it?" "Later, if needed. Not scattering now." Mark nodded, memorized. Their way. No step without cause, no extra word. "Dig deeper," Mark said. "Time?" "Some. They think I'm clueless." "Good. Keeps them static." Igor sipped coffee silently. Mark ignored his. "I'll check firms. Query my channels for backers. But stay careful. Show nothing. Not even a look." "I can," Igor said curtly. Parting, Mark gripped his shoulder. "No emotions. Business. Just business." That evening he got home for dinner. Table set. Alina tapped her phone. Artem hunched over his laptop. Larissa placed plates, feigning composure. "Sit," she said. "We're starting." "What are you discussing?" Igor asked, eyeing the kids as he sat. "New project," Artem replied. "Uncle Kostya pitched a scheme. Invest via small funds. Early stage. If it grows, margins beat hardware." Igor held reaction, asked, "Who's assessing risks?" "Us with Alina. She's got good instincts. I analyzed similar cases. It's clear." "And reliable?" Igor pressed. No 100% guarantees, but it works. Larissa served fish. He picked up a fork, untouched. What about you, Alina? The daughter looked up. What? Business is all digital now? Old ways die? Adapt. Of course, he nodded. She smirked, missing irony. Artem glanced at his phone, typed something, not hiding, but not explaining. Dinner dragged in tense politeness. They chatted like all was fine. He listened, memorized every word. Enough. We're not here for an interrogation. Larissa's voice cut through the tension like a knife, her eyes darting between Igor and Alina, fingers gripping the edge of the table a bit too tightly. The family dinner she'd insisted on. Roast meat from the oven, fresh salad on the side, wine glasses filled for everyone. Even Igor, who rarely drank at home, now felt like a staged performance crumbling under the weight of unspoken accusations. Candles flickered on the table, cloth napkins folded precisely, utensils gleaming. But her gaze was strained, every movement laced with forced normalcy. Alina crossed her arms tighter, her face flushing with frustration. Why not? Dad's acting like we're criminals just for talking about the future. Igor kept his tone level, but inside, the pieces clicked faster. The kid's casual dismissal of his role, their blind faith in Uncle Kostya's ideas, Larissa's quick defense, it all screamed coordination. I'm just asking questions, he said calmly, locking eyes with Alina. You say the business needs to go digital. Old methods are dying. We have to change. Fine. But who decides the direction? You, Artem, or someone pulling strings from outside? Artem snorted, setting down his laptop with a thud. Pulling strings? Come on, Dad. Uncle Kostya's got real vision. He's helped us see how outdated everything is. Your concrete and brick empire won't last in a world of apps and crypto. We're not against you. We're trying to save the company. His words dripped with condescension, as if Igor was a relic from another era, not the man who'd built it all from scratch. Igor felt the manipulation twist in his gut, gaslighting him into doubting his own instincts, making him seem paranoid for questioning their sudden expertise. Larissa leaned forward, her voice softening in that calculated way she used to diffuse him. Igor, let's not turn this into a fight. The kids are excited about new opportunities. It's good they're involved. Remember when you started? You took risks too. She smiled faintly, but it didn't reach her eyes. A subtle push to make him feel unreasonable, like he was the one disrupting harmony. Igor nodded slowly, not buying the act. Risks based on facts, not whispers from family outsiders. The silence thickened, forks clinking awkwardly against plates, glasses touching lips without real sips. No one ate with appetite. The air hummed with unspoken threats. Later, as the house fell silent, Igor slipped into the study. On the shelf, a folder of old documents, company charter, founder list, acts. He rifled through, pulling signature copies, comparing them line by line. In several spots, Larissa's signature appeared in the wrong field, not the handwriting that raised alarms, but the phrasing around it. She never spoke like that. Optimized, legally polished, yet hollow. It reeked of Constantine's style, his brother's slick legalese from past deals where money vanished without trace, no one proving where it went. Igor scanned the acts quickly, logged into the tax database site, checked current leadership in linked organizations. A familiar surname popped up. Not Constantine, but a contact from an old scandal. Funds lost in murky setups. Morning came, Larissa breezy as ever, greeting him like nothing amiss. "You leaving tomorrow?" she asked over coffee, stirring her mug casually. "Maybe." "Far?" "Not decided yet." She nodded, calm, disinterested, question tossed like routine filler. "I've got things too. Meeting lawyers about grants. Need to coordinate the package." "Lawyer, you know." "Not really. Through the fund." He stared long. She held it. "Something wrong?" she whispered. "No. All as usual." She left first. He lingered in the kitchen, breakfast untouched. "Midday," Diana texted. "Materials ready. In person." He set a meeting at the office. No secretary, no extras. She entered with a neat folder, sat silently. "Checked what you asked. Nuances." "What kind?" "Some firms for payments linked indirectly, through thirds. Like this one. Registered to a Strelitz woman. Lawyer, worked with your brother before. Verified via archives, socials, old database. Fact checks out. Sums? Millions. Batched. All by rules, but above average service costs. Consulting? Mostly. Plus strategic analysis, prospect audits. Empty buzzwords." He took the folder. Diana lingered. "One more thing. Artem altered reports. Check system logs. He logged in under temp analyst access. Number swaps. Subtle. I spotted it." "Yourself?" "Yes." "Good work. Continue?" He paused, then, "Yes. Department only. No thirds yet." She nodded, stood, eyed him carefully. "Sure you want it all?" "I know already. Just prove." That evening, he skipped family dinner, claiming no hunger. Sat in the winter garden at the table, graphs, extracts, data, screenshots spread out. Left, name list. Right, sums. Center, 2 lines. Larissa, Constantine. Puzzle assembling. Calm, emotionless. Footsteps behind. He looked up. "All okay?" Her voice. "Of course. You've gone quiet." "Work. Just work." She stood briefly, left. He stayed in silence, recorder by his hand, charged, ready. Next day, Larissa pushed for family dinner. She prepped oven meat, set salad, wine for all despite his habits. Setup screamed performative coziness, candles, napkins, precise servings, but her eyes tensed, movements taut. "Wanted us to eat together," she said as they sat. "No phones, no rush, just talk." Artem shrugged. "Talk needs topics." "Like what?" Igor asked. Alina jumped in. "Company growth, strategy, we lack digital, still stuck on concrete and brick." "You strategizing long?" he asked evenly. "Artem and I watch markets compare. Uncle Kostya's full of ideas." "He doesn't work here," Igor reminded. Artem smirked. "Formally no, but he helps. Not against you, if that's what you think." "Reasons to be?" Larissa slammed her glass down, clink echoing. "Why start this?" He met her gaze. "Did I?" "Yes. Jabs, control, suspicion. You weren't like this. Things were different." Silence dense. Alina set down her fork, wiped lips. "If you're fighting again, I'm out." "Sit," Igor said firmly. "If I don't?" He stared. No threat, no plea. She averted eyes. "Let's eat," he said calmly. "Then back to ours." No more words. Utensils scraped, glasses touched, no real eating. Later, house quiet, Igor entered the bedroom, opened the closet. Top shelf box of papers. He hunted old docs, one contract with Larissa's signature. He didn't recall her in that deal, but there it was. Diana noted it too, casually. Found it. April 23rd. She'd claimed conference, none existed. Signature by a firm stamp tied to Constantine. Doubts gone. He scanned, sent to Mark for analysis. Reply. Match. Not hers, but precise execution. Morning, Larissa routine asked, "Where's my gray shirt?" "Dry cleaners." She nodded, went to coffee maker. House feigned normal. "Heading to office," he said, gathering. "Sign docs." "Weren't you sightbound today?" Plans changed. No why from her, just face scan. "You've changed." He grabbed keys, silent. At office, Mark waited unannounced, settled in conference room like home. Movement. Money flow company owns ex-Constantine staffer. Shell firm, but real cash. Lots. Prove link? Not yet. Punched registration address. 1 square meter office. Empty. Paper only. Igor pulled folder, showed contract. Fake sig. Tracemaker. On it. If Constantine's hand, I'll find. Got prior samples. Odds? Decent. Need more points. He tossed surveillance printout. Yesterday. Your wife. Lawyer meet. Not fund. Handles offshore capital schemes. Where? Business center. Hour talk, then hotel. Same person. Lobby cam. Frames here. Igor skipped looking. Constantine there? No. Sense she's covering him, or vice versa. Need proof they act together, numbers, will be. Give time. Don't burn source. Evening home, he noticed Larissa's study folder open, unclosed. Copies of estimates, contracts, contractor lists. Several matched his flagged suspects. She compared, verified, maybe passed them. He didn't touch, just photographed. Night, he heard her downstairs. Quiet talk. Same voice, intonations. From phone window, dark. Not now. He's suspecting something. Talks less, looks different. Pause. No. Said nothing. But speed up. Before he shuts it. He stood in hall, still. Papers tomorrow. Not email. In person. She went silent. Understood. Phone click off. He didn't return to bed. Down to study. Opened laptop. Powered recorder. Plugged flash. Started upload. Inside. Calm, cold density. Alien. No more doubt. Just collect. Record. Wait. Over next days, no extra questions from him. Ignored meetings. Calls uncommented. Neutral. Almost detached. Larissa once chalked it to fatigue. Now it served him. She relaxed. Spoke confidently. Like to someone still clueless. It suited him. Kids hid nothing. Artem condescending. Alina irritable irony. Acted long free of his influence. He allowed it. Silent. Memorized. Monday morning, he said. Off to site setup. 2 days. Actually stayed in city. Booked hotel room near business center Mark flagged for Constantine's frequents. Building side. Parking with surveillance. Igor prearranged with security. Interested in 1 car. Gray, unmarked, special plate. Spent day there. Laptop, phone, notes. Waiting. Around 4 p.m., gray car arrived. Constantine exited alone, headed to office Larissa visited recently. Half-hour later, she emerged from entrance. No folders, no bag, light. No street cross. So inside meet. Opened laptop, inserted memory card, checked lot cam, saved footage. Yes. Larissa enters 4:02. Constantine 3:58. 4-minute gap. Pre-planned. Next day, he went to real site. Not needed, but logical. Inspected area. Met contractor. Checked docs. Behavior unchanged externally. Even joked. Smiled as expected. En route back, Larissa called. Far out? On exit. Urgent? No, just asking. Home evening. She paused a split second, then even. Dinner for 3. Artem's out. Good. Evening, she set table. Alina sat arms crossed, no chat desire. Need weekend trip other city? She dropped no intro. What's there? Exhibit. Fund we work with presence project. With who? She shrugged. Alone. Uncle Kostya there? He asked calm. Alina froze then. What's he got to do? Just asking. Then I ask. You even know what we do, or just checking? I know, enough for conclusions, Larissa interjected. Enough? I agree, Igor said, his voice steady but laced with an undercurrent of challenge that hung in the air like an unspoken accusation. Then let's not. The family plunged into silence, the only sounds the scrape of forks on plates and the occasional clink of a glass being set down too hard. Alina finished first, pushing back her chair with a screech that echoed her defiance, storming out without a goodbye, her footsteps thudding up the stairs. Larissa cleared the table methodically, avoiding Igor's gaze entirely, stacking dishes with deliberate care as if to prove her composure. Later that night, as the house settled into quiet, Igor heard her voice again, low and hushed in the hallway. Yes, everything's as planned, she whispered into the phone. No, he didn't ask. I'll pass the papers tomorrow. He didn't rise from his chair, didn't interrupt. Instead, he pulled out the recorder, hit record, capturing every word, his breath controlled, mind sharpening on the betrayal unfolding in real time. The next morning, he offered casually over breakfast. I can drive you to your meeting. I'm heading that way for business anyway. Larissa faltered for a split second, her coffee cup pausing midair. But she recovered swiftly, forcing a smile. No need. I'll grab a colleague. You don't know her? It's a personal talk. Of course, he nodded, his tone neutral but probing. Personal matters in family life. They're sacred. She left half an hour later, in a sharp suit clutching a folder, heels clicking decisively on the floor. He didn't follow. Instead, he signaled Mark. 15 minutes on, the parking lot camera caught it. Larissa handing Konstantin the exact folder, him taking it with a nod, both sliding into his car and driving off. 90 minutes later, they returned. Folder gone. That evening, Igor beat her home, settling in his study with the same papers and graphs spread out. When she returned, she entered without knocking. You didn't call. No reason to. Everything okay? He looked up evenly, calmly. Yes. So far, everything's on plan. She missed the jab, or pretended to, brushing it off. I'm heading up. Sure. He waited until the shower ran upstairs, then stood, grabbed a flash drive, copied the recordings to the cloud, made a backup, and locked it in the safe. Late into the night, he reviewed everything again. Meetings, documents, conversations. No longer just suspicion. Facts stacked irrefutably. One thing left. Confirm in person. No cameras, no recordings, no intermediaries. He knew the where and when. It all led there. Just enter at the right moment. He barely slept, not from insomnia but an internal stillness, like before high-stakes deals, calculating precisely, no errors, no emotional burn. Mornings passed. He'd lain awake from readiness, not worry. He rose calm, ate breakfast, fielded a couple calls, exchanged words with Alina, even smirked when she tossed another jab about outdated methods. Larissa was unusually upbeat, hair styled, makeup fresh, perfume lingering, new suit crisp. Meeting? He asked offhand. Yes. Closed session downtown, coordinating departments. Long? Hour or two. Might hit the salon after. Got it. He didn't offer a ride. She didn't ask. She left in a taxi from a service he knew, Routes already traced. Endpoint, the hotel, not an office or salon. He exited 20 minutes later, no rush, driving himself, taking a parallel street, parking in an alley across from the service entrance. Waited. Half hour in, she entered. No glances back, moving like routine. Through the main doors, no delay at reception. Key card, elevator, familiar motions. He slipped in via the back entrance, prearranged with the admin. No money talk, just handled cleanly. Knew the room number. Floor quiet, corridor scented with fresh linen and AC. He paused at the door, listened. Silence, then muffled female laughter, followed by a male voice. Words indistinct, but tone intimate, easy, relaxed, domestic. He pressed the handle. Door unlocked. Entered. Larissa stood by the window, blouse unbuttoned. Constantine lounged on the couch, barefoot, shirt open. Table held 2 glasses, water bottle, open folder. Company schemes, diagrams, docs inside. Both froze. Larissa reacted first, turning, adjusting her blouse. Igor. He said nothing, eyes shifting from her to Constantine. Well, hello, brother, Constantine said with a crooked half-smile. Long time no see. Looks hot in here. Igor's voice stayed even. Larissa stepped forward. This isn't what you think. What do I think? She stammered. It's not personal. Of course not, he replied. Just a work meeting. With drinks, in lingerie, company docs, in a hotel room. Very professional. Constantine rose slowly, approached. Igor, drop the drama. You're an adult. We all are. You've been bypassed. It happens. You're not keeping up. You've become a brake. The company needs to move forward. So you decided to help it. By lying. Constantine chuckled. We decided to rebuild. Without you. Igor moved to the table, grabbed the folder, flipped through. Larissa's signature on a page. No hesitation, no hide. He closed it, bagged it. You have 5 minutes. Exit through service. Don't linger. Larissa paled. Constantine stayed cool. Think this changes anything? He tossed. It's already started. Then it'll end soon. You prove nothing. I'm not proving. I'm showing. He exited, no slam, walked the corridor slow, face blank. Inside, no anger, no pain. Understood all needed, seen all required. Outside, Mark waited in the car. All? All. Igor nodded. Next? By plan. He slid in, shut the door. No warnings now. Ready. Igor glanced in the mirror, at his reflection, eyes, face. Time. Car pulled away, smooth, silent. No look back. Next morning, Larissa sat in the kitchen with tea, house eerily quiet. Alina left previous day. Business trip. Artem didn't sleep home. Igor appeared at 8, composed. Gray tie, businesslike, docs in leather folder, face total control. She rose. We need to talk. He unhurried. Later. Igor, I get how it looks. But you have to. I don't have to, he cut in. You do. He passed like past furniture, not harsh, not angry, just passed. By 9, at the law firm, partner, an elderly attorney he'd worked with 10 years, met him. Docs ready, divorce suit, joint asset access halt, power of attorney freeze, all legal, clean, no scandal. Sure. Igor Sergeyevich? Lawyer asked, offering pen. Sure. Notify spouse officially? In writing. Personally. By noon, her new system access cut, passwords void, card inactive, proxy revoked. At her office, security waited, plainclothes, calm, envelope in hand. She entered late as usual, smiled at secretary, stepped in, froze. What's this? Guard handed envelope politely. Larisa Nikolaevna, from Igor Sergeyevich. Vacate by day's end. Explanations inside. Trembling hands opened. First line, divorce process notice, then restrictions list. Live signature. Pen. Not digital. You can't. Voice rose. Guard silent, stood by door. Evening she returned home, laptop bag in tow, face drained. He was there, in living room with Mark. Table strewn with doc folders, yellow stickies, flashes. Talk stopped as she entered. What have you done? She exhaled. This what? Public flogging? He didn't rise. Official parts start. What's between us? Done. No scandal, no press, no hysterics. But final. You just erased 20 years? Not me. She neared. I'll explain. Don't, he said firmly. Save strength. You'll need it. Mark stood, gathered papers. Gotta go. Tomorrow as planned. Confirm lawyer on Sizov. Rest as discussed. Mark nodded. Left. House silent. She sat opposite, uninvited. You're acting like a stranger. I am. You won't understand, won't hear. I heard, many times, including yesterday, in that hotel room, where you shouldn't be, with who you shouldn't, touching docs you had no right to. It's not like that, she started, but he interrupted. You stole, lied, dragged the kids in. More than a fair. Betrayal. You're dramatizing. He looked straight. Your contract signatures? Fiction? Or you really think it'll blow over? No reply. Later he went upstairs to study, shut door, started calls. Lawyer, financier, Mark, Diana. Each new tasks. Hour later she approached, knocked. Need to talk? Time's up. Igor. He didn't open. You're ruining everything. You ruined. I'm formalizing. That night she texted Artem. Short reply. Understood. Hour later. Kostya says, hold the line. Half hour more. Here if needed. She sat long in bedroom, phone and cold tea. Face showing first cracks of uncertainty. Not per plan. Too abrupt. Morning. Another hit. Her card failed at bank. Account frozen. Igor filed in property dispute frame. All legal, foreseen. Couldn't reach him or lawyer. Voicemail only. Message. Request accepted. Review up to 10 business days. House chilled. He stopped talking. Ignored her presence. No Alina. No Artem. Just her. Silence. Realization. Now different. She doesn't decide. Next day, Diana entered Igor's office unannounced, tablet and folder in hand, face focused but unfazed. She handled work crises routinely. But this transcended crisis. Gathered all, she said. Per point. Can start cleanup. He set down pen, stood. Show. She spread papers on desk. First folder. Financial model Artem and Alina pushed a strategy update. Inside, swapped reports, fake growth forecasts, inflated metrics. Hacked from inside, Diana explained. Access via temp employee account, formally blameless, docs legal, but they swapped logs, hid tweaks. If not archive backup, missed. Who edited? Artem. Thrice. Week gaps. She showed printout. Session IDs, IP, dates, times, all matched. Alina passed data. Had unpublished report copies. From inside, likely Larisa, or direct from Konstantin. Igor flipped pages silently, jaw tight but voiceless. Next folder, contractor deals, those with slight overcharges, now confirmed. Average price, 2.5 times market. All via Konstantin and partner structure. Founder third party, but registration address, phone, accountants, same. Money to shell firm, back laundered via regional cash terminals. Mark traced, leads to Baltic account, Konstantin access. Provable? Tough, but enough for central bank block. We filed. He paused on page. Larissa's signature, clear blue, no waiver. Doc approved spend over her limit, but backdated via system Artem unlocked temporarily. So she knew? More than. Signature on 9 docs. At least 7 over limit. He leaned back. Diana silent. He stared ceiling. Holes? None yet. Sealed via internal audit. External looks restructuring. Services unaware. Investors informed, the key ones. Competitors tried press probe. I shut it. Info blackout. He stood, approached window, paused. Larissa? Officially nothing. Non-employee, non-shareholder, no formal lever. All on trust. Yours. Kids? Same. Shares gifted, access via revoked proxy. He turned. Thanks. Not all. She pulled flash drive, handed. Recordings. They leaked strategic data, clients, partners, internal plans, via open chats. No encryption. He took it. Service owned? Registered on closed mail server? The IP address traced back to an old corporate structure directly tied to Constantine, one he'd exploited in a scheme 3 years earlier. A convoluted money laundering operation through shell companies that had nearly bankrupted a partner firm. Back then, the case got quietly buried after Constantine pulled strings with influential contacts, paying off investigators under the table. But the digital footprints lingered in archived databases, waiting for someone like Igor to unearth them. He slid the flash drive into the safe, twisting the lock with a final click, his mind already shifting to the next move. Time to notify them. Let the notifications hit like precision strikes, unraveling their illusions of control. That evening, he returned home earlier than usual, the front door clicking shut behind him as he caught the faint glow from the kitchen. Larissa stood there, phone in hand, scrolling frantically. The moment she saw him, she flipped the screen down, shoving it into her pocket with a forced casualness that only amplified the tension. He pulled out a chair and sat across from her at the table, silent, his stare unyielding, forcing her to confront the void between them. She remained standing, leaning against the counter, her knuckles whitening as she gripped the edge. I heard you're starting an internal investigation, she said, her voice steady but edged with accusation, testing him, trying to gauge how much he knew. He didn't respond immediately, letting the silence stretch, watching her shift uncomfortably. The psychological pressure building as she waited for him to crack first. Can you explain what's going on? She pressed, her tone sharpening, a subtle manipulation to paint him as the aggressor. I already did. No, that's not an explanation. This is war. It's a reaction, he replied evenly, refusing to rise to her bait, his words a mirror reflecting her own schemes back at her. She pursed her lips, eyes narrowing. Artem texted. His account's frozen. Yes. Alina can't log into corporate email. Correct. You think they... I don't think. I know. She sat down carefully, as if the floor might give way beneath her, her movements deliberate, a woman calculating her next play in a game she'd thought she controlled. They're kids. They didn't understand. They stole. They listened. To you. To him. He looked at her without drama, without visible emotion, his gaze stripping away her defenses. You think that's an excuse? I think you're losing your family. The family was lost when you and Constantine decided you could stage a coup. She said nothing, just stared at her hands, twisting a ring on her finger, the silence dragging on as the weight of her choices pressed down. Social expectations of family loyalty clashing with the harsh reality of corporate greed and personal ambition in a world where trust was currency. An hour later, her phone buzzed with a notification from the notary. Initiation of proceedings to revoke share allocations in the company. Legally contentious, but a direct blow. Artem and Alina no longer held a single percent. The board's decision was unanimous. Diana had orchestrated it in one day, her efficiency a testament to the shifting power dynamics. Larissa locked herself in the bedroom, firing off messages to contacts, but responses trickled in empty. Konstantin ghosted, Artem monosyllabic, Alina ignoring calls. She sat in the dark for hours, nursing a glass of wine, no sound escaping, her mind racing through the unraveling. How had her calculated risks turned into this isolation? A commentary on the fragility of alliances built on deceit in high-stakes business families. Downstairs in his study, Igor typed up another report. Dry, detailed, outlining discrepancies in financial flows. His fingers steady on the keys, each entry a nail in the coffin of their scheme. Morning brought a summons to the committee. Everything proceeded on plan, precise, unwavering. By Monday morning, the company office buzzed with unusual tension. Employees exchanging glances across desks, whispers clustering around the water cooler. The internal security department operated openly now, auditors sweeping into offices, seizing documents, copying computer hard drives. Official line, unscheduled audit, all by regs. Diana held a brief briefing, her voice authoritative, quelling resistance before it formed. No one pushed back. Everyone knew. If finance got involved this deep, it was serious. A ripple effect of corporate paranoia in an era where data breaches could topple empires. Igor signed papers swiftly, no lingering on formalities, his focus laser sharp. Mark worked next door with lawyers, dissecting logs. Konstantin hadn't been seen since last week. Phone out of range, email dormant, last system login 6 days prior, then vanished, fueling speculation of flight amid economic crime probes. Midday, the prosecutor's official response arrived. Suspicion of economic crimes accepted. Case handed to the corporate fraud unit. Review up to 10 days, but with submitted materials, action would accelerate. Diana brought Igor the copy. He nodded. Ready for public phase? Inevitable? Family? They'll react as taught. Attack, then pity, then blame. Textbook. That evening, a call to his office. Alina detained at the entrance, trying entry without clearance under a false name with a borrowed pass card. Bag search revealed company docs, printouts of internal reports, client databases, confidential letters, all marked for dispatch. Security summoned the lawyer. She didn't resist, just stated flatly, "These are our materials. We have rights." The lawyer was unyielding. "You're not a shareholder. Not an employee. No rights." 2 hours later, she sat in the conference room opposite Igor, silent at first, table holding her phone, flash drive, passport, security officer nearby. Everything documented, audio rolling. "Do you even hear yourself?" Alina's voice cracked sharp, laced with raw anger and desperation. "We're your kids. And you're staging this spectacle to destroy us over Mom? Not a spectacle. Crime fixation. You're wiping us out because of her. Not her. You. We wanted to modernize the business, grow it, inject energy. And sold data to competitors for that." She paused a beat, eyes widening. "It was temporary. We'd return it. You'd return nothing." Post-interrogation, they released her on recognizance, materials to investigators, drive sealed, all pressure-free, fact-based. Artem called next day. Igor ignored. 5 minutes later, text, I knew nothing. Pulled in. Not mine. Call later. No need. 2 hours on. New alert. Lawyers found a shell firm registered to Artem's acquaintance. Capital from his personal account, dated a month back. Larissa vanished from home Tuesday. Note left. Need to think. Don't search. He didn't. Via Mark. Tracked her to a roadside motel room. No luggage. Alone. She stayed a day, then tried wiring funds through an old account. Blocked. Next. Transfer remnants from daughter's card. Inactive. Phone her last resort. She called evening. Igor put on speaker, Diana listening silently, noting. Please talk, Larissa said, voice even but lacking confidence. Not through lawyers, not guards. Speak. This is too much. I get you're angry. You have rights. But you're ruining not just me. You're destroying the kids. They chose sides. They didn't know what they were getting into. They stole. You don't get it? Konstantin used us all. Promised control, you'd notice nothing. We'd format it clean. Said we could do without you. You did without. Now consequences. I can't be left with nothing. You're without me. Rest formality. Night into Thursday, warrant arrived. Investigations on Konstantin, Artem, Alina begun. Offices controlled, computers seized, chats examined. Saturday, journalists hit the company office. Diana met them sans Igor, short. Internal probe ongoing. All legal. Official comments later. Home quiet. Igor in study. Folders stacked. Extracts nearby. Statements signed previous day. He stepped down as CEO temporarily. Diana took over Monday, finishing crisis clean legally. He observed. Managed from shadows. All per script. Now his. Igor's lawyer reported notifications. Larissa countersued for joint asset access restore. Motive rights infringement. Day later, her rep filed media statement on cruel control, family isolation, economic violence. Publications hit fast. 2 business outlets, 1 popular portal. Reaction muted. Comments questioned motives. Recalled office scandals. Konstantin's sudden disappearances. Noise started. Diana brought article printout. He set aside unread. We file rebuttal? No. Let her talk. Helps. Louder. Clearer. Who's who. Same day, Mark reported. Konstantin tried border exit via private sector, fake docs under acquaintance name. Border control, detained on spot. Next week. Face-to-face on multiple cases. Corporate conspiracy. Fund withdrawal. Fictitious contracts. Igor listened emotionless. He'll talk. Already. First interrogation, 4 hours. Admitted facts, signed, deal agreed. Aiming minimal term. Who'd he give up? Everyone. 2 days later, office detained a courier. Package for external lawyer, originals of non-public internal reports. Passed via Alina's personal contact, her phrasing, for justice restoration. Now summoned for questioning, not as daughter or ex-employee, as suspect. Her lawyer intervened. Futile. Protocol done. Commercial secret breach proven. Igor learned via investigator call, confirmed facts calmly, signed full internal log check permission, ordered, during probe, no family system access restore. Evening, he drove home. Larissa waited outside, phone in hand, fingers chilled but unmoving. We need to talk, she said as he exited car. We did. Not like this. No cameras, no lawyers. He stopped, not nearing. You went to press, to court, to these who love digging dirt. Because you're destroying me. No, even reply. I'm exposing what you hid. Difference. She opened mouth, but he passed. Open door, left her standing. Next morning, Larissa's lawyer in reception demanding meet. Diana refused, redirected legal debt. Official response dry. Company no private affair talks. Artem called thrice. Hidden number. Igor unanswered. Via secretary. Admits error, wants deal. Hours later, same secretary. Artem tried old card withdrawal. Failed. Late evening. Message. You won. Happy? Alone. No reply. At board meeting, he signed finals. Share redistribution, security probe launch, suspicious ops block report. Investors approved. Press prepped statement. Company comprehensive internal risk cleanse, including family interest conflicts. Evening. Prosecutor notice. Larissa summoned for questioning. Suspect in fictitious subcontract scheme. Basis. Constantine's testimony. Acted personal gain. Exceeding authority. Igor shut folder, powered down laptop, gazed out window. Face to face. Wednesday. Room with table, 3 cameras, stenographer, investigator, 3 under recognizance. Constantine, Larissa, Alina. Artem separate. Avoid synced stance. Gave written testimony prior. Igor last in, suited, calm, no extras, docs at hand, gaze direct. Sat opposite, no glances. Igor Sergeyevich, investigator began. Confirm Larissa Nikolaevna Melnikova authorized to act for your company in said period. Formally no. Powers revoked month before her actions. Access unauthorized. Clarify how docs over 15 million signed? Signature fake or overreaching? Internal check fixed. Expert confirmed. Ready to hand copies. Constantine, head down till then, looked up. She signed at my request, coordinated with me. I provided calcs, all under my control. Larissa turned. You said you'd take all responsibility. I am, calm. But you signed. Your signature. I didn't read. Then why take money? Silence. Investigator flipped page. Transfers to your personal account logged via contractor chain 2.7 million over half year. Confirmed. Larissa silent. Confirmed, Igor said. I have extracts. Investigator to Alina. You transferred docs. What say? Thought reform part. Optimizing structure. Told temporary measure. What? All under control? Who told? Pause. Uncle. Constantine smirked. No control. Scheme, leak, transfer, withdrawal. Worked till Igor dug, then collapsed. So admit involvement. Admitted in interrogation. Protocol signed. Deal set. Goal? Money. Simple. Money. Maybe take company under us. Without Igor. He was slow, old, proper. Wanted aggressive update. Larissa played. First for gain. Then survive new system. Then no exit. She knew? Yes. Investigator to Larissa. Confirm? Not immediate. Stared table, breath uneven, hands clenched. Yes. Understood illegal? No. Then no. Now? Yes. Why not stop? Couldn't stop? Protocol ran 2 hours. All statements logged, signed. Larissa warned. Possible freedom restriction. Alina suspect. Artem case pending. Constantine main. Post-session, Larissa requested private talk with Igor. He agreed. No lawyers, no cameras, negotiation room, guard at door. She entered, sank into chair. He didn't stand. No one else to talk to. Doesn't make me fit. Not justifying. Not begging forgiveness. Just want you to understand. I didn't want to destroy. Just didn't know how to exit that life. You knew entry. She nodded slow. I envied you. Your endurance. Control. Mine lacked. Constantine nearby. Said right things. Knew manipulation. And you allowed? Yes, I did. Silence. If I could return? Can't. I get it. Quiet. But too late. He watched silent. She stood, swayed, no hand out. Remember who you were. And R. Can't break that in me? Got it there? In room? When you entered? No yell, no curse. Just left. Then knew it ended. No reply. Thanks for listening. She exited. He sat long. Outside, people passed, worked, spoke. Inside, silence. 3 months passed. Winter yielded to warmth. City snow compacted, roadsides black with puddles. New company office scrubbed spotless. Security system hummed silent. Digital passes, biometrics, unified access control. Diana officially CEO, board unanimous. Igor rare visitor, shadowed, no daily medal, but word decisive. His office untouched, papers neat, shelf clock ticking. Larissa's 15th anniversary gift he kept. Constantine got 8 years, deal factored confession, but not main softened. Judge called systemic corporate undermine via family ties. Aggravating. Prior schemes repeated, precedents unforgotten. Larissa conditional term. Damage payout. Igor no objection. No max demand. Waived civil suit. Answer only for done. Court. She didn't argue. Confirmed all. Admitted. Alina conditional, saved by cooperation. Artem faced real. Probe ongoing. Lawyers negotiated. Igor uninvolved. Once post-trial, Larissa called. No reason. Ask nothing, she said. Just, you were right. He listened silent. Live in rental, work honest, sell second-hand, sometimes storage, garages. Silence. If ever want talk, I'd be glad. Just talk. No conditions. He thanked. No promises. House now silences domain. Space altered. No voices, no stairs, steps, no rings. Just background. Coffee maker hum. Wind outside, rare street sounds. He rose early. Read. Worked. Silent. Alina called, hesitant, voice tired, no force. Nothing left to lose. Not asking forgiveness. Can't not say. You held everything. We broke. He didn't interrupt. What understand now? Trust not weakness. Honesty necessity. You real. Enough. Rest. Mine. Artem's letter came mail. Handwritten, unsteady script, many crossouts. Essence plea. If someday proof changed, give chance. No reply. At company jubilee, he spoke brief. Stage, lights, full hall. On trust, control, consequences. No names, details. Just, most dangerous not external enemies. Internal traitors. Especially calling them family. Exit. Employee caught up. True you lost all? No, Igor. Just stopped counting lies as me. Summer, he left. Not vacation, not escape, just departure. Took laptop, few books, minimal things. Settled country house, no guards, no cameras, no usual rhythm. Wrote business ethics project. Started simple. Betrayal. When you knew nearby person yours, but they thought otherwise. Dawn, he rose, stepped to porch. Watched fog disperse, cup in hands, head calm. No victory feel, no gratitude wait. What was, happened. What remained, his. Past. In docs, testimonies, recording silence. Family that wasn't. He returned there no more.